Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. That's right. Thank you for being here. This is The True Crime of Scientology with Nora Ames. What? Laura FM has a show tonight, guys, in San Diego with Madam Gandhi. So please get with it. Okay, I got it. My dogs have gone crazy. 1 second. Okay, well, that was fun. My dog is standing outside of the door to the garage, which is on the bottom floor, just screaming at the front door. There's nobody at the front door. The doorbell did not ring. There is a FedEx driver outside in their vehicle, minding their own business. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Ugh. And now I got out of breath and it made me yawn. So I apologize. All right. Guys, let's review what has got us here. Okay? We're going to dive down this hole. I got to watch what I say. We're going to dive down this very interesting hole together here a little bit more, because I still want to know. Okay. What's up with this? Guys, I've been staring at this all night. I am slightly obsessed now. I'm slightly obsessed. I'm going to be honest. But we're going to go into some more things, okay? Because why is this signature important? Why does this matter? If Mike Ellis, the alleged person holding the highest ecclesiastical justice level in the supposed church of Scientology, why does it matter? Let's go back in time here for a moment. Okay. Let's go back. Let me just come off of this because it doesn't let me make it full screen if I'm not on it. So we're going to go back to 2021. Okay. We're going to go back 4 years here. And we're going to talk about these two. Okay. This is Luis and Rocio Garcia. Okay. This is the gentleman that started the Aftermath Foundation with Aaron Smith-Levin. They were the two, and then they got all the other people to come on the board. He was also the first person to leave the Aftermath board. And then, everything else that happened with Aaron. Okay, just to give you background on him. They were also two very large donors and very long-time Scientologists. Okay, so then they brought a case against Scientology, just to give you guys like in vignette, and they wanted a full refund. Okay, they wanted a refund and repayment. They wanted a twofer. They wanted a refund and a repayment. What does that mean? Can you get that? Is that a thing? Okay, and then they were the first people. Okay, they said they were defrauded of 1.3 million. Okay. And then because of these weird, I'm never going to ask for my money back bullshit waivers that they make you sign, the church was like, no take backs, right? Okay. So then in 2017, it was a 2-day arbitration, 2 days, okay, where they weren't allowed to bring in a lawyer. They weren't allowed to record it. They weren't allowed to submit 90% of their evidence, okay? This was the first arbitration that Scientology had ever done in 60 years at that time. Okay, now we're at 75 years of Scientology. It was the only arbitration they'd actually ever done. Why is that? Why now? Why were they like, we're going to do this arbitration that doesn't even exist anywhere in Scientology doctrine? And we're going to go over that. Okay, and they lost their appeal. Sad panda. So now let's fast forward to a few years ago, okay, where Valerie Haney, okay, fucking jumped in a rando's car to escape the razor wire, fortress out there in Hemet. Okay. She spent 22 years in the fake space Navy, 22 years of her life in the fake space Navy, starting when she was a child. Okay. When she was a child. Okay. Well, Nora. Okay. So she has a suit. Okay. That's my very unprofessional. I had my fan on me, guys, because it's been warm in the garage. Not really as warm, but I want to keep the air circulating. Okay. I have it on low, but I'm just trying to keep the air circulating a bit. All right. So in November 2016, okay, she crawled in the trunk. She was the premiere episode of the 3rd season of Leah's show. Okay. And then she went and talked to lawyers and fucking law enforcement. Good for her. Right? A lot of people never do. I mean, guys, I have never sat down with an FBI agent to spill the beans and just tell them the whole story. I probably should. Most of that comes from shame. It comes from like, my story's not that important. Who cares? Other people's stories are more important than mine. I just hope they have a case. Like, I'm going to make sure that Valerie gets what she deserves. Like it's guys, I deal with that with my therapist. Okay. Like, but I'm working on it. Okay. So she in her lawsuit, she's alleging kidnapping, stalking, and libel. Okay. So now she's at arbitration, as we know. Okay. She's in this arbitration nightmare, which Laura got a request for her presence as a witness for Valerie, and Laura let them have it. But Laura also let us know that the alleged person who sent her that notice to appear, Mr. Mike Ellis, the International Justice Chief, was no está en la casa. No está aquí. He was not there. That's so weird. Now, during the Luis and Rocio Garcia case, he was there. He was there for those 2 days during their arbitration because it was the very first one. It was the premiere. Where is he now? And if he's the one arbitrating the case, right, as he's supposed to be, because he's supposed to be the only person, where is he? Okay. Now, this isn't the only lawsuit that Scientology has ever been in. If you guys want to know, just go to Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. Thank you, all the people who contribute to Wikipedia. Here we go. Scientology and the law. Okay. So this goes over all the litigations. They had one in Russia, European Court of Human Rights. Okay. Then these are just the L. Ron Hubbard lawsuits. Okay. In 94, okay, that's when I graduated high school, Helena Cobran was fined $17,775 for filing a frivolous lawsuit. Australia. Now, that's a whole other bag of chips. So much stuff. Canada, France, the Netherlands, Russia, Sweden, Switzerland, okay, the UK, the US, okay. Paulette Cooper, of course, we know that. The Operation Snow White, the Jerry Armstrong case, that's a big deal, okay. The church sued him for violating the confidentiality agreement. Now, this is one question. I'll just be honest. I don't normally mention these people, and I wanted to interview Jerry and ask him this myself. But he doesn't want to come on the show, and that's okay. I'm not mad about it. Okay, now I'm hot. I would have just preferred to ask him this, but maybe his buddy Alonzo can ask. In the original settlement, did he receive the $800,000? Did he cash that check? That's what I want to know. Did you cash the check? Because if you cashed the check, then you agreed to the terms of that cash, which is to not talk about Scientology anymore. That does not take away someone's First Amendment right. Okay. A settlement agreement cannot deny someone their First Amendment rights, because the First Amendment says, as a citizen of the United States, I can speak openly and freely about my government and say my government is a fucking flaming dumpster fire that is inching us towards fascism at a light speed rate daily. And guess what? I don't have to go to jail for that. That's what the First Amendment guarantees in this country. Okay? Please go reread it. It does not say that I get to talk about any entity, any person, any whatever in any way that I feel like. That's not what it says. Okay? So if Jerry Armstrong took the $800,000, he cashed the check, then he violated their agreement. If he did not cash the check, okay, then he didn't agree to the agreement, and therefore they can't countersue him. So my question is, did you cash the check, Jerry? This doesn't make his story invalid. This doesn't make his knowledge invalid. It just means, like, bro, if you're going to take the money, then take the money and do the agreement, okay? Debbie Cook took the money. She's doing the agreement. Do I think that she deserved that and that she should go be quiet now? No. Do I think that somehow we should still get justice for all of her victims? Yes. Okay. Marty Rathbun, he took the money. He took the money. And now he's only saying bad stuff about people who are activists. Okay, that's part of the agreement. But can we just be honest about it? Can we not folk heroize people who don't deserve that? Okay? Who don't deserve that. Certain people did shitty stuff, and certain people made agreements with Scientology that involved money. Okay, the ShamWow guy, he took a fuck ton of money. And guess what? When people ask him about being a Scientologist, he's like, I can't comment on that, because he can't. So he doesn't, because he took the money. Okay, it's that simple. If you want to agree to not talk about something and they want to pay you whatever you think is deserving for that, okay. I'm not going to... My personal opinion about it doesn't matter, right? Because honestly, guys, I truly believe everybody has... no, this is not pre-recorded, Lanikin. I am live. This is not Memorex. I need to work on my pre-recording skills, guys. I'm better live. I just, it's all in my head. And yeah, anyway. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, okay? Let's just be honest about stuff, okay? Because, Jerry, that's the truth, okay? I'm speaking directly to you. If you're listening, if you watch my videos, fantastic. Please leave me a comment. I'm willing to talk to you in the comments, whatever. But if you took the money, you made a legally binding agreement with them. That's all. That was approved by you, your lawyer, their lawyers, and the judge. That's how these legally binding settlements work. It's not rocket science. It doesn't actually take. Would I take money for an NDA? Austrian Factor, if you are in fact a legal representative of Scientology, David Miscavige and OSA, I will tell you right now, my number is 500 million. Okay, half a billion, $500 million. Send me that. I want it in cash. I don't want it in installments. I want 500 million in non-sequential unmarked bills. Okay. In a case, like mafia style. I want it like that. Yeah, that's my price. I don't think it's too much to ask for what you guys put me through for those 8 years. Okay. I am, I got a lot of problems now. You're not. Well, why are you asking then? Austrian Factor? Why? It's a waste of my time. But yeah, that would be my answer. No, you did not, Lanikin. No, you shut your lying mouth. You did not Google Memorex. Yeah, and an NDA, correct, Scientology up north. An NDA cannot protect Scientology for covering crimes. Correct. Okay. They settled that Laura DiCrescenzo case. Why? Because forcing a teen to have multiple abortions is real bad. And I hope she got that much money. Like, I'm going that cheap. I know they can cough up more than that, but I'm trying to make it, accessible. Accessible. Like David Miscavige, just look under your pillow. You've got that. I would love it. Okay. So anyway, I got distracted by Jerry Armstrong here. This is what happens when I'm live. Okay. So then they had the war with the IRS, the Cult Awareness Network. Guys, they sued Time Magazine, okay, in the 90s for $400 million. That is currently what President Trump is suing CBS for and Paramount for Colbert daring to say that he's an adult old psychopath on television. Firing Colbert wasn't enough, right? But yeah. One day we're going to go over this whole article, The Thriving Cult of Greed and Power. It's an incredible article. That alone should have gotten Scientology shut down anyway. But they still got their fucking tax exempt status, Okay. Now there was an Eli Lilly one, Scientology versus the internet. Okay. I mean, like, they sued FactNet. This was the Lisa McPherson Trust, the Larry Wollersheim case, which actually was in the 80s, and then finally in 96, he got $130,000 for his attorney's fees, but he got $2.5 million. $2.5 million. Okay. For his emotional distress. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm adding up for inflation. I want 500. My therapist and psychiatrist will attest to my emotional and physical distress. I have copious medical records to back that up now. Netcom, whatever. Okay. So then we have these ones, right? This is 94. Frank Gerbode, the inventor of traumatic incident reduction. Again, this bitch got fucking sanctioned again. Baseless and frivolous claims. This was the Laura DiCrescenzo case that I talked about. Okay. Scientology settled with her 3 weeks before the case went to trial. I wonder why. Because they weren't going to win, and that shit getting to the press and being public would be really, really bad. Okay. So this was the Garcia case, the one we just talked about. Okay. Their attorney called the arbitration a sham. The panel ultimately refunded them $18,000. They got that is not a refund. Well, that is a refund for unused things. Okay. But did not acknowledge the claims of fraud. Okay. And they couldn't appeal. I guess they're out of appeals now. Now, these are the ones we still have going on. We have Chrissy Bixler versus Danny Masterson. This is the Jane Does versus Danny Masterson. Okay. This is their civil case, not the criminal case, the civil case. Okay. Valerie Haney's case, it's actually still going. Even though it's stuck in arbitration right now, it's still going. Okay. We have the Baxters and Valeska Paris, Gawain, right? Gawain, Lara, and Valeska. Okay. That is still ongoing. It's not done yet. The Jane Doe versus David Miscavige and Gavin Potter. Leah versus Scientology. These are all still going. Okay. They're not closed out yet. Okay. So these are the things we have to keep our eye on. Okay. Is these ones that are still going, especially right now we're focused on this one, Valerie Haney v. Scientology, because we're about to make some breaking news here. So what is the question here about who should be dealing with what? So okay, I need to find my other things here. 1 second. I have to undo this and get rid of that. And we're getting rid of that. Which one is that? That's not the one I want right now. That's for tomorrow. Okay. So, oh no, I downloaded that one. Where is it? Need the other one that I downloaded. There we go. Aha! Got it. Okay. So the first thing we're going over here, guys. Oh, I don't like how that looks. No, this is going to be hard. So we have to go over a couple policy letters here. But first I have to reduce this in size because it's being a biatch. I had it, guys. All right. I got it. Can I interview Valerie Haney? I would love to. I'll see what I can do on that, Vernon. I'll see what I can do. All right. So we're going to be going over this policy here. Okay. Suppressive acts, suppression of Scientology, and Scientologists. Okay. As you can see, this policy has a lot of other policies. And it's called a policy letter. This is, what's the right word for that? These are rules and regulations. Okay. These are rules and regulations laid down by Lafayette Ronald. Okay. Now, pay close attention. So slowly. This was written in 1965, originally. Then revised when? Weirdly, 1991. I'm sorry. L. Ron was dead. This is the start of Bad News Bears. But let's just go down. Even in 1991. Here we go. This is, oh, no. Come back to me. Come back to me. Guys. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is not what I want. I'm going to have to do something different here. Let me. Okay. We'll just do it this way because I want to be able to scroll correctly. And I thought it would look nicer the other way. But you know what? It doesn't. And now I can't find the FACOCTA policy. Stupid rules and regulations. Oh, God. You know, if he didn't write so much nonsense, this would be easier. But it's not. It's not. Okay, I think we're almost there now. Now I got to do the thing here again. Sorry. Okay, 873. That's where we need to go. $873. That's the actual page number, not the one it says it is. Okay, we got to go a little further. Choo, choo, choo. Nope, more. Oh my God. There we go. Okay, here we are. All right, so it says, now can I make it bigger for you guys to see? Okay, that's smaller, Nora. There we go. That's better. All right. So due to the extreme urgency of our mission, I have worked to remove some of the fundamental barriers from our progress. Oh, so thankful. Thank you. The chief stumbling block, huge above all others, is the upset we have with potential trouble sources. These are people who are connected to people who are suppressive, and they become sick. They become, they ask too many questions, basically. It's people asking questions. Obviously, they have somebody telling them something super bad, and we should shut them up, okay? Don't ask questions. A potential trouble source is defined as a person who will, while active in Scientology or a person receiving counseling, yet remains connected to a person or group that is a suppressive person or group, okay? And that is defined as one who's actively seeking to suppress or damage Scientology or a Scientologist by doing bad things. Suppressive acts. Here's what Scientology thinks are bad things. Okay. They are calculated to impede or destroy Scientology or a Scientologist, and which are listed at length in this policy letter. Let's dive in. Here's the bad things. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, here we go. Suppressive acts are defined as actions or omissions undertaken to knowingly suppress, reduce, or impede Scientology or Scientologists. Such suppressive acts include any felony, such as murder, arson, etc., against person or property. So right there, number one, right at the top of the list, Danny Masterson. Right at the top of the list, kidnapping, human trafficking, both felonies. Okay. Scientology does those daily. Sexual or sexually perverted conduct contrary to the well-being or good state of mind of a Scientologist in good standing or under the charge of Scientology, such as a student or pre-clerk. Again, Danny Masterson, right there, violating the first two. Blackmail of Scientologists or Scientology organizations threatened or accomplished, in which the case, the crime being used for blackmail purposes becomes fully outside the reach of the internal, Justice Department and is absolved by the fact of blackmail unless repeated. Now, that sentence doesn't make any fucking sense. But basically, if you try to blackmail a Scientologist, and then that thing that they did that they're being blackmailed for is like something they did outside of Scientology, basically you kind of like, it's a wash, unless they keep blackmailing you. Okay. Using the trademarks and service marks of Dianetica and Scientology without express permission or license from the owner of the marks or its authorized license. My God, don't you dare put that Scientology cross on anything that David Miscavige hasn't personally signed off on. Falsifying records. That is every event. That is every jamboree the Scientology holds throughout the year to celebrate their fake fucking shit that they're doing. It's all false. Testifying or giving data against Scientology falsely or in generalities without personal knowledge of the matters to which one testifies. So if you give it truthfully, that's not a suppressive act. So what they say about us, and by us, I'm using the collective us here, that are, activists speaking out, right? They are claiming that everything we say is false, which in itself is a lie. Organizing splinter groups to diverge from Scientology practices, still calling it Scientology or calling it something else. So even like NXIVM. NXIVM is a Scientology splinter group. EST is a Scientology splinter group. Oh, fuck. I can't even remember that stupid guy's name, the inspirational speaker guy. He's huge. He's like Andre the Giant became an inspirational speaker. Anyway, he's a Scientology splinter group. Okay. Avatar, Scientology splinter group. Right? All of these things, you know, the Twin Flames, Scientology splinter group. The Orgasm Cult, Scientology splinter group. You know, the Cult of Mother God, Scientology splinter group. All of these people have been influenced by, no, not Grant, Tony Robbins. Thank you. Yeah, Tony Robbins, that fucking guy. He did Scientology and then he fucking came up with this whole shit. Grant Cardone, yeah, his 10X, that could be considered a splinter group. Yeah, for sure. Organizing the splinter group to use Scientology data or any part of it to distract people from standard Scientology. Using Scientology or perverted and alter-is tech, calling it Scientology, being a squirrel, harmfully so as to bring about disrepute to an org group or Scientology itself. I mean, that's just the results of Scientology, period. So, yeah. Issuing alter-is Scientology technical data or information or instructional admin procedures, calling it Scientology or calling it something else to confuse or deceive people as to the true source, beliefs, and practices of Scientology. That one right there, we're going to do a whole thing on David Miscavige tomorrow, but that one right there, that's what David Miscavige is doing and has done to Scientology itself. Like, he is the big, if I were pro Scientology, which I am not, I would be fucking burning down every building, hypothetically, not literally, figuratively in my brain, because they are not doing what Lafayette Ronald laid out. They're doing what David Miscavige wants. They're not doing Lafayette Ronald. Hi, Bo. Thank you for being here for 13 months. Are Blake and Ryan Scientologists? Oh, you mean Ryan Reynolds? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Yeah. Unauthorized use, holding, copying, printing, or publishing confidential materials. Confidential materials. Oh, no. Acts calculated to misuse, invalidate, alter, blah, 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 blah. Intentional, unauthorized authorization. These are crimes, guys, in Scientology. Developing, using squirrel processes, knowingly giving testimony, which is false, which is what every Scientology person who testifies online or in a court of law does every single time. All of that testimony, completely false. Okay. Public disavowal of Scientology or Scientologists in good standing with Scientology organizations. Oh my God. Not me calling out Laura Prepon for being a paid professional lesbian and then she left anyway. Oh no. Public statements against Scientology or Scientologists, but not to committees of evidence duly convened, which is a grand jury. They call it grand jury inside of this fake space navy. Okay. Proposing, advising, or voting for legislation or ordinances, rules or laws directed toward the suppression of Scientology. Pronouncing Scientologists guilty of the practice of standard Scientology. Okay. Testifying honestly before state or public inquiries into Scientology to suppress it. Even hostily. Sorry, not honestly. Hostily. Right. So when like L. Ron Jr. went, right, Ron DeWolf went and testified in open session about everything his daddy was doing, that was hostile. Okay. Don't report right here. Look at this right here. This is how they keep people from going to the cops. Okay. People want to say, why don't you go to the cops? Reporting or threatening to report Scientology or Scientologists to civil authorities in an effort to suppress Scientology or Scientologists from practicing or receiving standard technology. Now, right there, they just use this first line. And that's why you don't go to the cops. Bringing civil suit against any Scientology organization or Scientologist, including the non-payment of bills or failure to refund without first calling the matter to attention of the to the attention of who? The International Justice Chief. That would be who? Mr. Michael Ellis. Okay. Demanding The return of any or all fees paid for standard training or processing actually received or received in part and still available but undelivered only because of departure of the person demanding the fees must be refunded. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to read that again. I didn't quite catch that. Demanding the return of any or all fees for standard training or processing actually received, so the stuff you did, okay, all of that training, all of that fakakta interrogations, no matter how many years, there's no cap on years or time here, in part and still available, okay, but undelivered only because of departure, the fees must be refunded. Writing anti-Scientology letters to the press, continued membership in a divergent group. That's anything that's not Scientology. If you stay with, you stay friends with your mom, even though she's declared, you get a job from anti-Scientologists, you call an outside mutiny. Infiltrating a Scientology group or organization to stir up discontent. Seeking to splinter off, engaging malicious rumor mongering. Delivering up the person of a Scientologist without justifiable defense. So if, right here, or lawful protest to the demands of civil or criminal law. Delivering up a person, the body, the person who is a Scientologist without justifiable defense or lawful protest to the demands of civil or criminal law. So when Danny Masterson went into those confessions and he told in graphic detail what he did to those women, that person administering that confessional, the person who read the transcripts of that confessional, should have done what, guys? Kids, come on. They should have immediately called the police, fed him a nice free cafe meal while they waited, and then fucking hauled him off to court with his full confession. But no, it's right there why they don't do it. Okay? Blah, 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 blah. You're stealing people from them. Okay. Severe breach of ecclesiastical and or fiduciary duty as an executive or corporate official. Why does the church have corporate officials anyway? Of a Scientology or Dianetics organization, which has resulted in severe harm, loss, or disrepute for Scientology or the organization. Using Scientology lines for personal profit in such a way as to cause disruption in the organization or to block the flow of public up the bridge. Now, currently, guys, how many people are doing the actual bridge and how many people have literally been going in circles for decades? Also, David Miscavige can allegedly personally profit from all of it. 30 years now? He's been in command 35 years? No. Fuck. How many years has it been since 1986? 39 years. For 39 years, he's been doing this. 39 years, personally profiting. Don't get into those mailing lists. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, providing the confidential folders, okay, all these different variations, okay, to any individual, group, organization, mission, or other unit or agency for any reason or purpose, except those covered explicitly in existing church policy, or to provide such files to any individual, group, organization, mission, or other unit, agency, which is unauthorized by or in bad standing with the mother church. Excuse me. Does that mean when they hand over information from your confidential ecclesiastical folder that is supposed to be priest pentient privileged to their lawyers to peruse and cull for interesting tidbits, wouldn't that violate that all by its little lonesome? Okay, these are their rules. These are not my rules. These are not the rules of humanity. These are their rules. Okay, then you have the 10 points of keeping Scientology working. Technical degrades. This is the second bulletin. It's the second set of rules that you read in every course you do. Okay, again, we're going to be covering this in full detail about David Miscavige because he's violating all of them. Musical chairs. Transfers of persons around an org is the single most destructive action to an org's statistics. Really? So taking fake Space Navy members from big blue buildings and moving them to Chicago for the fake opening of a fucking, derelict building that you bought for nothing and then charge people, made people do a fundraiser for and then charge them a mortgage after and made them pay for the renovations. That's on musical chairs? Pretty sure it is. Pretty sure. Blah, 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 blah. Comm cycle additives. This was the favorite one for people to put on people. It's like the catch-all. There are no additives permitted in the auditing comm cycle. So that's supposed to be between the counselor and the person receiving this, mindfuck counseling, right? So there's only certain things you're permitted to say or how you're permitted to say them, and you're not supposed to zhuzh it up, okay? No improv, right? But they use this point, it just in general. Like if you're a person who is basically like, I don't know about that, I think we should not do that. They'd be like, that's comm cycle out if you're suppressive. Like anything that wasn't just, yes, sir, and then running to go do it, you could go fuck yourself, right? Withholding vital information, informing fellow staff members and others that one is leaving staff. Just the act of saying, I'm going to quit is suppressed. People who want to ask all the time, why don't you guys just leave? Why don't you guys just say, I quit and leave? Right here. It's a suppressive act. You are now the worst person on planet Earth, okay? Where a person is secretly planning to leave and making private preparations to do so without informing the proper terminals in an org and does leave below and does not return within a reasonable length of time, which, by the way, is determined arbitrarily by the security, captain there. That could be 24 hours. It could be 2 weeks. It could be a month. It could be 1 hour. Whatever he feels like. An automatic declare is to be issued should any monies or organizational property be found to be missing in consequence. Action is to be taken on criminal charges. Where it doesn't tell you who the proper person is. The proper person is only one person. The secretary of Division 1, right? The person in charge of the personnel and the justice, right? That's it. If you tell anybody else besides them, automatic declare. When you do tell that person, they put you on manual labor, hard labor, and start getting you endless interrogations to find all of your crimes because the only reason a person would want to leave the most ethical group on planet Earth is because you have crimes. And even when you finish all of that interrogation, you still can't leave. There's no end to the interrogation until you say, I will stay. I'll stay. Okay, if anybody can tell me what movie that's from, you're a special kind of friend. That's all I got to say. All right. These are more things about doing Lafayette Ronald's, fucking Candyland Twister game wrong. Okay. Any staff member who either verbally or by his actions threatens to crash or deliberately crashes his job, doesn't do it, in order to avoid legal or on-policy order, is to be instantly declared. And guess who gets to determine if it's a legal or on-policy? That's your boss. Most of the time, it's not. Don't mess with the books. It's a high crime to publicly deport Scientology. It is a high crime to publicly deport Scientology. According to Lafayette Ronald, saying out loud to the peoples, "I left Scientology," you are now the devil. How many Catholics have been pulled before a, council of the bishops because they were like, "I fucking left. I don't go to mass no more. I'm not fucking Catholic. I don't believe." How many? No, it's not from Instant Family. Keep guessing. I'll give you a hint. It comes from a poker scene in a movie. After this character, who is a man, says, "I'll stay." He's staying in blackjack on 13. "I also like to live dangerously." Okay, that's it. That's all I'm giving you. It's not the Show Me the Money movie. It's not a Tom Cruise movie. Well, he does make an appearance. Okay. This is more about the Candyland bullshit. This is all very technical bullshit. Blah 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 bop bop bop. All these things, guys. This is all the list of things you can do that are wrong and is bad. Nope, it's not James Bond, but very close. Very close. Austrian Factor. Yes, Rocks in a Box, and Peter got it. It is the original Austin Powers International Man of Mystery. Thank you very much. Yes. I'll stay. Yeah. Hello. My name is Richie Cunningham, and this is my wife, Oprah Winfrey. Sorry. Who's number 2? Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. That movie makes me laugh out loud. All right. Now, here we go. La 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 la. These are all about the peoples. Okay, this is potential trouble sources. Disconnect. Look, guys, disconnection. Right there. It's right here. It's a policy. Disconnection. Disconnection is a policy that they do. It's a rule. It's a rule. I didn't make it up. Okay. Rights of a suppressive person or group. Isn't that kind? Isn't that kind? To just like let them have rights. Okay. However, first of all, a truly suppressive person or group has no rights of any kind as Scientologists. Not as humans, not as a citizen of whatever fucking country you're in, but just as a Scientologist. I don't give a fuck. Your rules do not apply to me. Anyway, however, a person or group may be falsely labeled suppressive. Oh, that's so sad. Or a group. Should the person or group claim the label to be false, he, she, or they, look at him respecting pronouns, may request a committee of evidence. Okay, that's the little grand jury they call them, via their nearest continental justice chief. The executive with the power to convene a committee of evidence must do so if one is requested. The person or representative of the group labeled suppressive is named as an interested party, blah, 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 blah. The committee must pay, blah, 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 blah. Again, here's the international justice chief. Ba, 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 ba. Again, all these things, the declare label order must be approved. Lifting of the declare label order must be approved by the International Justice Chief. Okay? La 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 la. La la. Where did it go? It's above the rights. Ba 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 ba. Where'd it go? Is it in my other one? It probably is. Okay. But those are the bad things that you can be dinged for. Okay. Now, let's get the other thing up here. Okay. Now, this is from the volume 3 that covers all of the financial rules. Okay. There's financial rules volume. All right. This one is called refund policy. It comes from 1963. 1963. This is what Lafayette Ronald said about that. Okay. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Oh, so beautiful. Now I can see it. All right. In a careful review of refunds and in the light of my own experience with persons demanding refunds, and due to 2 recent upsets in organizations, Australia and London, hot dog, regarding refunds, the following data may be of assistance. In 13 years, okay, so since 1950, involving hundreds of thousands of hours, that's what his claim is, of the counseling and millions of dollars of income. Well, thanks for letting us know you're a millionaire. In any organization where I was assuming direct command, I have always promptly and immediately caused to be refunded every penny of every money of the money paid by any person who was dissatisfied with his or her processing. This has been the consistent policy I myself have worked with. Now he claims in 13 years, he's only had to refund $3,500. That is a lie. This is due in part to ensuring certainty of results in any, counseling center and working hard to make sure that the parishioner gets results regardless of the current style or mode of the counseling. This low amount of refund is also due in part to my firm policy that persons who demand refunds may have them exactly according to the code of a Scientologist, but that any person demanding or accepting refunds thereafter shall be refused any further counseling. And you got to place them on notice to all the people who are auditing, doing the counseling outside of those brick and mortar places. Okay. I've only worked with these 3 policies: refund at once in full and refund any refund demanded. Work hard to get good results. Forbid the sale of further goods, basically, to anyone who gets a refund. And make them known to other Scientologists so they don't work with them. Like, you're going to get shunned. Okay. You are kicked out, but you are supposed to get all your money back. Okay. It's notable that all but 1 refund were made to persons with histories of insanity. So everybody who asked for a refund is insane. And they were mistakenly accepted for the counseling. Okay. So Australia had a lot of shit going on. blah, 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 blah. So the new policy is a refund policy is an agreement type policy needful, but it must be very mild. Indeed, it will stand in lieu of good service. Okay. Refund any fees when and as demanded, whether for the, instruction or the counseling or the indoctrination, the mind indoctrination. Refuse further and all future, any goods to anyone demanding a refund. If they are like, well, I want to keep doing it, I just want the money back for that, then you got to work it out with them. Okay. Now, there's a policy a few pages later, which clarifies this more. We're just gonna scroll until we get to it because he wrote a lot of stuff. Nope, that's not it either. We're gonna keep scrolling. Nope. That's how the people who are outside of the brick and mortar buildings get paid. Refund notice. Okay. So this was written 3 years later in 1966 and revised. Oh, interesting. In 1991. Okay. It's important that every posted scale of donations and every rate card bear the following notice and displayed at the bottom. So every time they're telling you what the prices are for something, okay, the rate card, the menu, okay, any type of solicited fund request, this is what's supposed to be at the bottom, which I promise you it's not now. Donations promptly refunded to any dissatisfied student or pre-clear in accordance with the policies of the Claims Verification Board. Wow, that's way up there. The Claims Verification Board is like RTC level. It's like way up there with David Miscavige, okay? If the parishioner or the indoctrinee is dissatisfied and demands it within 3 months after they finish it, okay? This is not when you buy it. It's after you finish doing those things. The only condition being that he may not again do any of those things. The full regulation of this is not varied except that no donation for any of the advanced courses, wait, what? Or further, anything that's released after that will be refunded, as this is the student as his own auditor and his own responsibility, which is somewhat beyond our control. Enter at your own risk, baby. The person requesting refund must sign a guarantee, blah, 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 blah. We only refund the current donation according to the Claims Verification Board. Never refund private auditor donations, but may help recover them from private auditors. Do not omit this action. Junk all rate cards, okay? Toss them in the trash, shred them, that do not carry it or stamp or type it on them while ordering new. Okay? So this was their way to get around the other policy where Lafayette Ronald was like, bro, if somebody wants their money back, just give it back to them. Okay? No questions asked, but you can't come here anymore. You can't do this. Now it's like, okay. So if you request it within 90 days, we have a 90-day guarantee. And if you request it within those 90 days, then there's some provisos, like as long as it wasn't like the super expensive advanced stuff, which is really just on you anyway, then yeah. If the other people approve it, then maybe. We'll see. Kind of. But that's not what Lafayette Ronald said. And you'll notice down here, it says Lafayette Ronald Hubbard, revision assisted by the LRH Technical Research and Compilations. That was a group of people who went painstakingly through these policies to compile things that then said what David Miscavige wanted Lafayette to say. This was not actually something the way that he said it, because in 1966, they don't show you what part was revised, right? And then here's another one. Refund addition. Okay. Again, this one's from the 1st of August, 1966. And this was from 31st of July. So the very next day, he was thinking about this a lot, guys. Okay. No refund may be applied for successfully after 3 months from the end of the last service rendered. This means that a refund applied for 3 months after the end of an intensive's last auditing session. Okay, so you're going in for the counseling and it's 12 and a half hours. Okay, so at the end of that 12 and a half hours, you have 3-month ticking clock. Or last day of attendance on a, instruction may not be granted, but it doesn't say will not, may not be granted. There are no membership refunds of any kind, as refund policy applies to service and membership holders usually already have realized discounts. Now, at this time, in 1966, there was one membership, two types of membership to buy. You could buy a yearly membership to the Hubbard Association of Scientologists International, known colloquially as the HASI, or you could buy a lifetime membership. I believe a yearly membership was something like $10 a year, and the lifetime membership was like $50. So they're not going to refund you the $50, right? It's like Costco will give you a refund on the groceries you bought if they're fucked up, or you bring it back and you're like, oh, it wasn't the right size. But they're not going to refund your membership fee. But this loophole right here is how David Miscavige prevents people from recouping all of the ridiculous donations they make to who? That's right, the International Association of Scientologists, the IAS. Because those are membership fees. Those are not for anything else. That is simply a membership status. You see how he ran that little scam there, guys? You see how he runs that scam there? So someone like, let's say one day, which will probably never, ever happen. Let's say Nancy Cartwright wakes the fuck up and is like, what the fuck have I been doing? This is a woman who donates millions with an S, millions, to Scientology annually via the International Association of Scientologists. Those are membership fees. At this point in her life, she has probably donated a few billion to Scientology because she's worth billions with a B, with an S, because of the residuals for the longest running show on television, which is The Simpsons, and all of the merch shit and all that other shit that she gets money for Bart Simpson. Okay. And she's still on the show. They're still going. Bart Simpson has been a 10-year-old boy for 27 years now. Whatever. People enjoy it. I don't fucking know. That's insane. All of that money can never be requested back. Right there. It is the perfect scam. Perfect. Okay. So, what does all of this mean, guys? I just wanted to show you that when somebody requests a refund, they're supposed to get it. Luis and Rocio, they should have gotten a lot more money back. They tried to sue for fraud and this other stuff because that makes more sense. I will say this, one time at band camp, I want to say it was like 1996 or 7, there was a big incident. I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody who was like kind of a quasi-celebrity. They requested everything back that they had ever paid. And we're talking like almost $400,000. And we had to pay them. We had to pay them every penny. We did not get paid for like 2 months, 3 months almost. And we ate like not good. That was our punishment because we had one person who dared to say, it's not for me. I want my money back. And we paid them. Every penny. Every penny. Now, I don't know if... Now, here's the deal, though, Scientology up north. Per the policy, per Elron's rules and regulations, that money that Tori paid, unfortunately, sad panda for Tori, it was for those levels that she's, responsible for, counseling herself. That's really results not guaranteed. And she knew that. It was already in the policy. That's not like they made that up after she left. That's been there since 1966. Maybe don't pay that money if you can't ever get it back. A lot of people didn't do those levels because they were like, ooh, I can't ever ask for a refund for that. I'm going to pass. That's a lot of money. I don't know if that's going to work out for me. Other people were like, oh, well, of course I'm never going to ask for my money back. Why would I ask for money back? Because you're not an idiot. That's why you would ask for money back. Now, where did that go? I want to pull up one other thing here. So let's get back to the smoking gun here. So we have these two signatures from Mike Ellis. They do not match. That's my personal opinion. Oh, right. I forgot to put up my personal opinion banner here. Everything I say in this stream is my opinion and mine alone. There you go. Okay. So hypothetically, if Mike Ellis, now there's only 3 options for what's happening with Mike Ellis right now. Okay. Numero uno. He is old and addled and unable, because he's incapacitated in some way, to actually physically do his job. So he's in one of the old fogey homes that they just like hoard people in like trash until they pass away. Okay. Number 2, he's dead. Number 3, he has left through legal channels and is no longer employed, or he took off and he doesn't, he just kept riding his bicycle one day and he never came back. Okay. If any one of those 3 scenarios, 1, 2, 3, okay, is correct, then they have committed perjury. Perjury is kind of a big deal. Let's take a look. Let's dive in. Okay. Penalties for perjury. Perjury, or lying under oath or in official sworn statements, carries, which Valerie Haney's case is official. It's sworn. It is attested to by the officers of the court, Kendrick Moxon et al., for both federal and state levels. Okay. Federal penalties. Here we go. Imprisonment up to 5 years, potentially extended to 8 years in cases involving terrorism or certain sex offenses. Interesting. Fines. Individuals may be fined up to $250,000, or organizations could face up to $500,000. State penalties, that varies state by state. Perjury generally classified as a felony, but sentencing guidelines and specific penalties differ by jurisdiction. Okay, California, 2, 3, or 4 years in state prison. Okay, that's where the case is being tried. Texas, 10 years, man. Additional consequences. Sentencing enhancement. Perjury can increase the severity of sentencing for other related crimes. Oh, no. Professional licenses. Kendrick Moxon, pay attention. Losing licenses in fields like law enforcement or the legal profession is possible. Reputation and employment. Okay, blah, blah. Scientology has no reputation, let's be honest. Okay, so perjury versus false statements. Let's dive into that. While both involve lying, perjury specifically refers to false statements made under oath in official proceedings. And the intent is key. A prosecutor must demonstrate that the individual knowingly and willfully made a false statement. The false statement must be material, meaning it could influence the outcome of the proceeding. So, the way I look at this is that them putting Mike, in my opinion, putting Mike Ellis's signature onto that letter to Laura and probably to the other witnesses that Valerie wanted to call, okay, claiming to be Mike Ellis, the International Justice Chief of Scientology, which we are seeing via proof, does not exist as a job and does not exist as a person in the course of a legal proceeding, okay, because the court, the actual United States court said, okay, Scientology, you can do your thing, like in the Garcia case. That is willful and knowing to make those false statements. And Kendrick Moxon knows that. And are they willing? Are they willing to let Kendrick Moxon go to jail? I think so. They fucking put Mary Sue Hubbard, the goddamn wife of Lafayette Ronald, in jail. Now, was he aware of that? I don't know, because the man was already living in a trailer on tons of drugs when that all went down. So probably not. Especially since they enforced what's called a separation order on Lafayette Ronald and Mary Sue and kept them apart for the remainder of his life. I don't even think she went to the funeral, y'all. I don't think she ever saw his body as his wife. I think that David Miscavige identified the body, or perhaps Dr. Dank, you know. But I don't think Mary Sue was there. I don't think Mary Sue was there. What's your question, Rox? Wouldn't they just put someone else in Mike's position instead of faking him? No. Because systematically, since 1994-ish, 95-ish, really started more aggressively in the year 2000, David Miscavige has systematically dismantled every single check and balance between people handing money into one of the organizations directly and him receiving it in a bank account. He has removed every piece of oversight. Because why? Because when one organization receives, let's do simple math, okay? Let's say I walk in and I donate $100, okay? So that $100 is going to get split up between many people. First and foremost, 10% has to go directly to, do not pass go, do not collect $200, okay? 10% goes directly to the Religious Technology Center organization, not David Miscavige, but just directly up there, for the right and privilege of putting Scientology in your name and all the other books that you already bought, okay? And having L. Ron Hubbard, blah, 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 okay? So you got to pay 10%. Another 10% goes directly to Golden Era Productions to license the films that you already purchased from them. Now they have them rent them weekly too. So you have to pay the rental fee. Okay. Then another percentage goes to your continental level overseers. Okay. So you have to pay that percentage. Okay. And then then you also have to pay the international landlord your mortgage. And then you also have to pay, what's the other one you have to pay to? That's not you. I think that's it. Unless sometimes people have to pay like a special fee. Like we had to pay a special fee because we had our own branch of the Lafayette Ronald Messenger organization. So we paid a special fee to them because they weren't just in our, We were the continental level, so we had to pay specifically to them. Anyway, so what's left over? Probably $10. And that $10 is supposed to pay your, all your bills, your electricity, your water, your food, and pay the people there. So instead of paying all these other entities, he has dismantled all of those entities. Okay, they don't exist. There's nobody making films. There's nobody doing all that stuff. I mean, there's probably like 5 people that they make these fucking things, and they work down at the television station and stuff now in Los Angeles so he can monitor them more closely. There's nobody in the international management area. There's no president. There's no executive director international. There's no, finance officer. There's none of those people exist. Okay. Including the International Justice. He's dismantled all this oversight. There's no more watchdog committee, which was the ultimate oversight. It was the oversight of the oversight. Okay. There's no nobody. So when somebody gives that $100, okay, he has cut off all those other people. That money goes where he can find it, where he can touch it with his touchy hands. Okay? Because he wants more. Because he's a capitalistic fuck. He's not a religious leader. He's not a religious leader. There is no religion in Scientology. It is the cult of greed was the most accurate title that has ever been given to Scientology in that 1991 Time article. There is no religion in Scientology, which is why they're not classified as a church by the IRS. They are a religious organization. It's religious, not a religion. Semantics matter, guys. Semantics matter. Okay? David Miscavige wants more. And there's always more. They keep squeezing more blood from that stone. They keep trying to get more people in. More. Okay? It is wild to me that there somehow is more, right? No, there is. There is no religion in Scientology, Laura. Can you find some? I can't find any. These fake, paid off experts, religious experts that are like, well, Scientology absolutely fits the definition of religion. Like, have you met a Scientologist? Have you met an actual Scientologist? Not the fancy pants, celebrities who are all actors and they can make you believe whatever they want. Don't talk to actors. No offense to actors in the field here, but you're good at make believe. That's your fucking job. That's your fucking job. Okay? Talk to a regular person. Talk to the person who's been in Scientology for 50 years, has no money to retire on, is still trudging away, in some bullshit, and drags their decrepit, aging, decaying body, hey, Amber, into one of those brick and mortar buildings every week, faithfully. Yeah, no science. Yeah. To keep indoctrinating themselves because they believe that's the only way they're going to be saved. Yeah, Janet Wieland. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's Scientology. It is the vampire of faux religious organization. It literally sucks the life out of you until you are dead. Because why? What does Lafayette Ronald say? We'd rather have you dead than incapable. What other church says that? Does God say that? I don't think so. Not even in the fucking New Testament where he's pretty nasty. Rather have you dead than incapable. I mean, even God, fucking, this is a whole other thing. But even there's hell for bad people. I mean, like, it doesn't just annihilate you into the nothing. At least you get to go party in hell. It's hot. It's kind of gross, but you're there. You're part of it. Oh. The H got cut off from you saying hi, Amber. I thought I saw an H. Did I imagine it? Oh, there is no H. As we would say in the old days, I dubbed that in. Let me get to your questions and comments here, guys. Let's look at the comment. Cute Steffi in the house. My Shih Tzu sometimes bark 1 hour straight at the UPS, FedEx, and Canada Post and construction trucks. This is not authorized by him. Everyone should sue to get a cult refund over on Scientology like they did to the IRS. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad. I mean, I would have to sue for like back wages. But sure, fuck it. Yeah. David Scumravage, I had to figure that out. Keeps all of F Sciento's fraud money in titanium plated booty hole plugs. I should have pre-read that, Tilty. Every person accepts a bribe. Where's one, I think, in my. That's a lot. I'm gonna, there wasn't a that would be, you'd be in trouble if you had a butt plug. Because that's naughty. It's too naughty. I read a bumper sticker the other day. Don't take life so seriously. It's not like anyone is getting out alive. It's true. It's morbid, but true. People make their own decisions. We're so happy to have you fighting here. Thank you, Steffi. Thank you. Oh, did Gavin Potter have a hearing today? Ooh. Let's see. Where's my Wikipedia page? Where's the Gavin Potter case number? It doesn't have a case number here. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the case number here. Hang on. Let's find out what happened. Ba-bum. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Case number. And this is happening in Los Angeles, I believe. Please hold. Los Angeles County. Nora, spell. Superior Court. Case search. Here we go. How can we help you? Access a case. Find case information. I believe it's a civil case. Case number. Boom. Search. Attorneys, use the attorney portal, please. I'm getting a scrolling here. Loading, please wait. It's interesting. Oh, here we go. Not today, next week. So on the 15th, which is Oh, what's happening now? Okay. Sorry. I got distracted by a text from the teens. So the 15th is next Friday. And it looks like they're having 3 things on the 15th. The hearing on the motion to compel deposition. Hearing on motion to order to compel compliance with court order. Joinders filed by defendants, Religious Technology Center, and Gavin Potter. Ooh. They are fighting back. They are fighting back. Look at all these proceedings that have happened since 2023, guys. This is how long the law takes. Okay. Yeah, Danielle, 100%. Look at how much time they fucking added on there. So next Friday, guys, next Friday. He dictated it telepathically. Yeah. No, they're both disgusting. There's no one that's better. There's no better. Right. And Jared Leto started the echelon. Right. Yeah. What the fuck, Jared? Scientology makes you leave your cell phone in a different area of the org when you're doing auditing. Yes. It's a crime to leave insane because it's like the Hotel California. You can check in anytime, but you can't ever leave. Correct. Imagine having your whole life dictated and controlled via tens of thousands of pages of green and red volumes, and you don't have much to say about anything. Welcome to Scientology. Amy, I think this is a fantastic idea. It's like bounty hunters, but for helping people get their money back from cults. If I go back and watch The Simpsons, episodes that would make a Scientologist uncomfortable, they end up being Bart Light episodes. Yeah. If I asked for a refund for an L rundown, I don't know, $100,000, they said, sorry, we can do $30,000, I'd take it. I know at this point, guys, a lot of us who've been out for a while, we have kids and shit. I need money. Y'all, I need money. I bet knowing that others will suffer if you ask for a refund is a deterrent. Yes. They think, oh, I don't want to cause trouble. I don't want to cause trouble. Fuck that. Get your money. DM wants more money because he's so small. He's teeny tiny. Hey, teens, can one of you hand me a ho-ho-hola? A ho-ho-hola? Ho-ho-hola? I need ho-ho-hola classic. Hello, teens. Hello, teens. I would like ho-ho-hola. Please ho-ho-hola for my ho-ho-hola. Hey-oh! Thank you. Thank you, girl child. Two of the boys just stand there. Huh? Only girl child could understand my ridiculous request. Thank you. That's like a yarmulke helmet. I think that one can go. That doesn't. Does that fit you, Sammy? No, it does not. Wow. Okay. One of the teens' bike helmet from when they're 10 is now fitting a 13-year-old because you can see the difference in the noggin sizes there, guys. Yeah, you should not allow every preaching man on a box religious status. Correct. Of course, it's a classic. Of course. I totally have gone back to drinking some Coke, guys. I got stressed out. You can still request for that, but it has to be within 3 months of completion of that check sheet. Let's go to your questions here, guys. Insert upside down question mark here. Did you get confused, Tilty? Yes, I'm going to say this again. Would I take money for a non-disclosure agreement against Scientology? Like delete my whole channel and disappear from the internets? Yes. Once again, Austrian factor. The price, again, for Scientology and also listening is $500 million with an M, million, 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 $500 million in non-sequential unmarked bills in a case, cash only. I want the whole amount. I want a lump sum. No installments. No, want it all. Cash money. You'll never see me talk about Scientology again. I don't care. Now, what I do with that money, that's another thing. That's up to me. I don't have to talk about it anymore. I don't think so. And she wouldn't take it. I don't know. I think a few people have made a pretty comprehensive list. I would love to see that. Yes, the bridge is a circle. Yeah. Anyone asking for a refund is insane. When did they become insane? Because of the counseling? No, it only means that if you end up asking for one, you're insane. This is another deterrent to asking for your money back because you don't want to be crazy. Right? Could they not lower the headache for themselves and others just revamping the refund policy? Absolutely. We refund any dissatisfaction within 30 days. I don't know. I'd give them a great Google review, right? I tried it. It wasn't for me, but you know what? I got all my money back. It wasn't even a hassle. More people would try it. No, they're the reason why Scientologists are so fucked up. But David Miscavige is a special kind of evil because he takes all that and cranks it up to 50. Oh, I did that one. Do you think it could potentially be possible that Shelley is the person with the access to the funds? Because she's so out of the eyes of it. No, that's not her job. That's a good theory though. I like it. Yeah, they used to have it all on the Wise website because they wanted people to know, like, hey, these people are Scientologists. Don't you want to be like them? They're successful. But it's not there anymore. Okay. Yes. Guys, I have a Substack. Come check it out. I'm going to do more writing on there. I'm going to soft launch this right now. I know it's not really a soft launch because we're on a live. But I want to try an experiment, guys. Okay? I want to try an experiment. If you guys have not watched season 2 of Shiny Happy People, please run. Do not walk to your Amazon Prime television account and go and watch this. There is one woman that is featured in this documentary. Her name is Micah. She was a former member of Teen Mania, which is what they're talking about. Acquire the Fire, Teen Mania, this enormous ministry that recruited millions of children nationwide here in America to go to foreign countries and indoctrinate non-Christians into Jesus, forcibly, I might add. And then also paid them nothing and made them pay for the privilege of going on these trips. Sounds very familiar, like the volunteer ministers, okay? And this one woman, Micah, did something that I was like, okay, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. And so I did. I started a blog, guys. I started a blog. I know Substack's like a blog, but what she did with this blog, guys, is it was like survivor stories all in one place. She was writing about her experience during her Teen Mania time, and other people started contributing. This blog is what got that place bankrupted and shut down because so many people came forward just to tell their story in the open on the internet that news and other places could not look away. I think we need to start that. So I have started it here Now, if you go to either site, it will get you there. Okay. That's the blog. I'm going to pull it up on the screen so you guys can see it. Of course, I've put a couple things there. Okay. This is the blog, Scientology Casualties. You can go to scientologycasualties.com or, to the Blogspot one. Okay. I'm going to give that to my mods because that's a secret from the mods. It's a soft launch, guys. You guys can do what you want. Go to it. Don't go to it. Okay. I put my short here. A little welcome. This is a place where all casualties of Scientology can share the truth about our lives and what happened to us as children growing up in Scientology. Okay. What is a casualty? The definition is a person or thing badly affected by an event or situation. This is the place for all Scientology casualties to share their truth about what happened to them. Yeah, Substack is getting a little naughty, Marla. I know. Yeah. I did see that silly short. That was hilarious, Tilty. I meant to reply to your email. Those were both hilarious. I loved it. Loved it. I love the Mean Girl Burn book situation. What's all that, sweetheart? Oh, you're going to play again? Okay. Which one? Let me see. I think this is the one that I mean to keep upstairs by the bed. Yeah. This is the first bat I bought when I started playing co-ed softball, guys. No. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. This says Vanquish on it. It's a light one. I don't think you can. It's a 19-ounce bat. It's very light. It's a little too small for me now, but yeah. It's a good one. Keep by the bed. That's mine. Bye. Are you staying here? Yeah. Okay. Because we're going to go in a bit. All right. All right. Let me finish up. Go get some lunch while you're waiting for me. Okay. Thank you. All right. Don't forget titles on the bottom half. I don't know what that means. Send me an email. I don't know what that means. Yeah, bats are good. Guys, this is good house protection. I also have 2 dogs. I don't have a pew-pew. We just don't. And I have one of my favorite connives next to me. Scroll down. Scroll down. So where I put the title down here. Oh, at the very bottom. Put the title. Oh, okay. I'll edit that. See, I'm not good at this stuff, guys, making like a whole thing. That's why for my my website where you can get True Crime with Nora.com. Okay, I use Fourth Wall. It's really, really simple, right? It does automatically all this stuff for me, so I don't have to worry about it. And then you click on that. Sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats. It's a sticker. 2 different mugs. Get a mug. That's it. It's all embroidered. It's embroidered, yo. It's embroidered. Get it. It's snazzy. This is the Loden color. You can also get it in the gray. Purplick. Okay? The hoodie comes in several colors too. You can get it in the bone, the sky blue, or white. So pretty. So pretty. The t-shirt comes in several colors. Blue tri-blend. Look at that. Just so soft. So luxurious. Charcoal. Purple. Navy. Maroon. Clay, or olive. Tilty. Falla brava. That means be good in Italian. It's harder than last time. Yeah. I'm going to work on it. I got to get it hooked up to the AdSense account and whatever. But anyway, if you want merch, guys, it's there. There's some swagalicious stuff there. You can get it or don't. It's okay. It's not, this isn't a cult. Okay? It's not a cult. But if you have a story to share and you want me to put it on the blog, email it to me and I will put it on the blog. It's that simple. Okay? If you want to leave a comment on the blog, please leave a comment. Comments are open. I only have those 2 posts up there. I need to put more. Okay? But guys, we need a space. We need a space to share these stories. You can share your videos. You can share whatever you want. Okay? But if you are a Scientology casualty, contact me. Let's talk about it. There's a lot of steps to leaving. And many of them are not just walking out the door. Many of them involve enormous contemplation and emotions. And I remember every single one of those. Okay? So let's talk about it. Let's put it in the writing process. And also remember, okay, what happened to you is real. What happened to you is real. There has not been a child of Scientology yet. I dare come forward, please. There has not been one single Scientology casualty who has read. Oh, bye, Ann. I will go to my post office box today. There's not been one Scientology casualty who's read this book and not said, holy fuck, this is exactly what happened to me. This book isn't just about Jamie. This isn't a selfish piece of art. Okay? Like, look at me. I'm a special butterfly. Oh, from way up here, you all look like little ants. Like, no, it's not that moment. This is about all of us. This is about all of us. Okay, Miriam. Comment. Do I have you on here? Do I have you on here, Miriam? Do I not? Miriam, where? Oh, guys, I did the thing. I scrolled the wrong thingamabobber. I apologize. I apologize. Okay, back. It's a piece of art. Thank you. Thank you. Mary, I'm trying to figure out, I've talked to you before. We've talked. Where have I talked to you? I mean, you know, like we talk, we've had convos, but can you guys see me now? There's a black line on the screen now. Okay. Oh, what the fuck is that? I don't know. Oh, I know what that was. That was a comment. Hang on. Come on, little comment. There we go. Doot. Comments back. Okay. Hi, selfless. I looked like a quarterback, right? With the little eye black under me. Miriam, I wanted to send you something. Stop it every time. Okay, that's not it. 1 second. You have a juicy knowledge report you want to go through with me? I would love to. Miriam, I'm going to send you an email real quick. I'm putting you on the spot. No, that's not it, Nora. Crazy pants. Oh, for crying in a bucket, you guys. There we go. I send to you. Yes, please hold. Please, no box in the mail for you. I was telling that to Tilty. You only get cash out. Thank you, Anne. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the boxes of money that you send me. Miriam, look at your email. I know it has to go across oceans of time to reach you, but hopefully the internets are fast on both sides of the earth today, and you get that email. Toot sweet. You get butt sticker. Why would you put a sticker on your booty? For what purpose? I don't know what a sticker on the booty would do other than get crumpled up and smashed in my panties. Oh, yes. Miriam! 1 second. 1 second, guys. I did it. This is going to be amazing. Miriam!
Hello.
Hey, my friend. From across the world. Hello.
Oh,
Okay.
hello. I was just about to go out.
I know. You look fabulous. You look fantastic
Take the
as
dogs.
usual. Okay. So you finished the book. You finished this book.
Mm-hmm.
First
Yes,
reactions.
I did.
First reactions.
It's not what you expect it to be. Yes.
Did you expect it to be as, I will say, like direct as it is? You know what I mean? Like it's an artistic, I mean, Jamie's super artistic, let's be honest, okay? The man is an artist. This is without question.
Yes.
But like the imagery that is painted there through his memories, through his recollections, what kind of emotions did you feel like reading that as someone who's never done Scientology? What did you think?
You're really putting me on the spot right now, but he paints the picture very well, how the living conditions were. But it's not like a gory kind of book, even though it's like really, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't go like full, House of 1,000 Corpses, okay? But
yeah,
it is that like the imagery, it stays with you, right? Like now that you've read this, as someone who has taken up the banner to fight against Scientology, right? As someone who was never in because you felt very passionate, has that enhanced your passion, lessened it? What is the impact of the book in terms of your future protests? What do you think?
I think it's definitely something I can refer to. It's just confirming everything that I have talked with other children of Scientology. It's basically the same story told once again, and not to minimize Jamie's experiences at all,
Sure.
but it's a carbon print, no matter where you grew up. It seems to be that it's the same experience for everyone.
It's like, I was saying, like, I talk to Jamie often, and it's like,
Mm,
what are they going to do? They're going to refute everything in the book. Obviously, they're going to be like, well, this is a lie,
mm,
and this is a lie. So they have one of two choices. Either they're going to try and refute every claim in this book and say there's never been anybody who said
hmm.
anything like this, blah, 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 blah. I think I even
Yeah.
heard that quote on Reddit, by the way, that's totally not infiltrated by OSA. But anyway, um, but then the other option is every child that you've interviewed, child of Scientology,
Mm,
okay, it's told the same story. Every child of Scientology who's read this book is like, that's my
mm,
fucking life. So then the
yeah.
question is, how do all these kids have the same delusion? What
Mm,
conditions were they in where they all mysteriously have the same story? Like, they don't talk to each other. Jamie hasn't talked to the people who live in the country where you're at or in Europe to be like, okay, guys, here's how the story went. You ready? We're going to rehearse it now. Let's make sure we talk about the beds in the same way and we talk about the food in the same. Like, no, it's like, that's your experience. That's your
yeah,
experience.
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
wild to me.
I have been present when Bianca and Samuel have been comparing their experiences when Bianca grew up in Clearwater and Samuel was in Saint Hill,
Right.
and it's the same. It's the same shit
Yeah.
over and over again. Yeah.
And I
So
think, I mean, and that's what I said to Jamie before I read one page of this book. I said, it will be the singularly most important book ever written about Scientology because it's the first book that holds back nothing
mm,
about that experience. And also, guys, you get to find out really, spoiler alert, you get to find out very cool shit about Jamie's family. Okay, his
mm,
mother's family, specifically, that is like, you're like, how did this woman with these incredible parents, with this incredible family, fucking end up in this fucking cult? Like, it's what this just
really.
shows that cults can get anybody,
Yeah, and that's
literally.
why I think and that's why I think the book is so amazing, that because it ties a lot of American history, his family history, and
Yeah,
then his own story together. And
yeah,
that's why I call it a piece of art.
yeah.
So definitely it's worth a read. I got both the audiobook and I'm getting the print version whenever it
Okay,
reaches
so
this
you
part of the world.
listened to Jamie tell you
Hmm.
this story. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Have you heard it
No,
as
well,
an
I
audiobook?
went to the launch of the book, right? So he was reading from the book. He did a reading.
Mm,
And I don't think personally I could listen to the audiobook because I've read it, first of all. And
yeah.
so I know and I talked to Jamie throughout the writing of this book. And so I know the emotional toll
Yeah.
um and the rawness of it. Um
Mm,
and during the book launch, he became incredibly emotional. And
yeah.
fortunately, my wife was there with me, and she always has her like
Mm,
lesbian purse that has everything in it. So she just
mm,
like whipped out a little thing of Kleenex, and I ran it up to him, like in case he needed it,
yeah.
because it is it. There's so much of it is just so raw. It's just it hits you in layers. I'm still thinking about it weeks later after having read it,
Yeah.
and many emotions and memories and things came up for me. But I think also, even if you were never in a cult, okay, if you're never in Scientology, and this is your perspective, are there things in your life growing up in this type of generation that you were like, holy shit, like that shit fucking happened, like shit like that happened to you? Or did you have like an idyllic Disney upbringing, Miriam?
Yeah. Probably, yeah. Probably, yeah. More or
She's like,
less.
listen, I live on Disneyland. That's it.
Yeah, but that's why I feel so much for for people you're all of us somewhat my age, and I feel
Yeah.
like we've been living in this kind of parallel universe where I couldn't even imagine this kind of things happening. And now at this age the reality is hitting me
Yeah.
on the face, and I wasn't aware of it. And the
Yeah.
fact that Jamie read the book himself was, I've never had that kind of audiobook experience before, because he does get emotional in
Yeah.
several parts of the book, but it makes the experience just so more relatable as well. So it's
Yeah.
great that he decided to do it himself.
Yeah, for sure. So guys, listen to me. Miriam got the audiobook, loved it. If
Yeah.
you don't if you're not a hard, book reader, get the audiobook. Jamie will tell you the story. He's going to tell it to you in his words, in his mouth hole, like with the whole thing. Or
Yes.
get the book. Get the book. I
Oh,
am
get
getting
both. Get both.
I'm meeting up with Jamie next week, guys, and I'm going to be getting several copies that will be like mine. They won't be personally inscribed. There won't be a message. I'm sorry, but it will be signed with this beautiful signature right here, which is Jamie's. Mine says, "For my dear friend Nora." That's fun. And then he wrote a whole other inscription here, and yeah, see, he wrote two. I got two inscriptions for the price of one. But yeah, we're gonna be getting. I'm gonna be getting more copies that will be autographed by Mr. Mustard himself, and we'll do a contest to give those away. We'll come up with some sort of
Amazing. I think I need
yeah.
to find a way to utilize also Jamie's and also Robert Damm's book about the children of Scientology when we're
Yes,
protesting.
yes.
Maybe even just have them with me over there so I can, show people.
Well, that's why I keep bringing up the writings of Lafayette, right? Because all of it's in
Hmm.
there. All of it's in there. And the things that matter to Scientologists, right? Even if they can't, they're not going to bear to look at this. This is something they will ignore. They're going to throw it away. They're going to refute it.
Mm.
They're going to do all these things. If I could get this into the hands of every child that I knew that was born into Scientology, who's still an active Scientologist, and just like strap them in a chair and make them listen to the audiobook, which would be torture, and I wouldn't do that. But if somehow they could listen to it, they would
Mm.
wake up, because hearing their own childhood told back to them and realizing that it's not okay, that it is in fact criminal torture of a child,
Yeah.
they would wake up and walk away from it. And
Yeah.
that is my hope. That is my hope, that this wakes up the country, it wakes up the world, that officials in every country get this book and start inspecting these places, because there are still children there. They're not being born there, okay? But there are still children enslaved working at these locations. You've seen them. We've seen them at Big Blue. We've seen them in every corner of the earth. We saw them in Australia when they did the protests there. There is not a place that's not where can world's greatest mods enter this book contest. Y'all, I'm going to hook you up like a dump truck. Don't you worry about that. I got you, ladies. I got you.
Yeah. And Jamie has talked a lot about the shame also that he
Yes.
carried with him for decades afterwards. I
Mm-hmm.
hope that the other casualties of the Sea Organization and Scientology, the children that grew up in it, would also have the power to kind of let go of the shame
Mm-hmm.
and just speak
Well,
out,
I will say that
even
is
if
due in
not
part.
publicly.
I mean, letting go of the shame is probably one of the hardest things. I still carry a lot of shame with me about a lot of it. But I will say that um, people like you, Miriam, who have never been in Scientology, who have been standing up for us and letting us know, like, listen, what happened to you is wrong. It's fucked up. It should have never happened. And you've never once been like, wow, you seem really smart. How could you be so stupid and stay? Like that, those questions in themselves, like, I get it. People are curious. It seems weird. Like, I feel like I'm smart. I wouldn't have gotten into that. That in itself just like continues the shame spiral, right? Like, of course, yeah, well, you're smarter than me. I'm dumb. I just grew up in a cult. Like and you just go down right to the bottom of that bullshit,
Mm.
right? But when people like you are out there sincerely, being like, hey, and you have to do it in the most mild manner. in Denmark there because they are so strict, y'all. Like people are mad about the filming, but it's like Miriam can film herself all day and talk to her own little fucking phone. And people in Denmark are like, that woman has lost her mind. She's talking to the internet, y'all. Like, what is happening? Yeah, I know, babe.
I have some friends nowadays
hi,
as well.
baby.
So
you have friends that come
she
in and
wants
you guys just sit
attention.
and talk to the internets together. That's better. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a nice group of friends here now that are doing the protesting together. So it's
That's
much nicer.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not as common. Guys, people in, did you know, breaking news, America is the only place where someone can be talking to themselves and we're like, yeah, normal. Where someone's filming every moment of their life. We're like, obviously it's an influencer. The rest of the world is like, what the? Can you just, shh. We're all outside. Shh. Outside
Yeah, but
voices.
TikTok has been amazing.
Oh,
Every
good.
single week, every single Saturday I go there, I get a lot of teenagers who have seen Streets LA and
Perfect.
Jessica on TikTok. So I'm just thankful for them doing that because I
Yeah.
don't know how TikTok works. So, but they know
Yeah.
exactly what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, and that's who we have to reach, you know, is you got to reach the
mm,
youth
yeah.
with just the warning so that they know, because guys, we were all kids. Our brains weren't fully formed. We're susceptible. Everyone's susceptible to love bombing, everyone. That's the truth. Every single person is susceptible to love bombing, in that community and that togetherness that we all inherently desire as human beings. It's a basic human need, is love and acceptance, right? And that is very easy to manipulate, you know, and they do that very well on the youths, right? So yeah, but thank you, Miriam. Thank you for popping on with me. I know you're about to go out and go do your thing and whatevs, but you know, have a great time. And thank you for reading the
Yeah.
book, and thank you
Restless.
for putting it out there, because it's important that this message reaches as many people internationally, you know, around the world as we can.
With Jamie again soon as well. We've been talking about
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to finish the book, and I just finished it today. So we'll find the time to talk together as well.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, my friend,
Good.
I'll let you go. Thank you for popping on. I love your dog. I want to give it kisses. I love
Thank you
dogs.
for having us.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, Miriam.
Bye. Bye.
Guys, we got Miriam on. That was amazing. I love her. She's doing fucking great work out there in Denmark. It's fantastic. I gotta go, guys. I gotta shove some food in my face hole before I go to you know, take the teen somewhere. It's mom duty time. Mom time. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to my mods. Thank you to the members. Oh, did I miss members? I shouted out Bo. Where's the member? Make sure. Yes, Bo has been here for 13 months. All right. Well, if you guys want to become a member, you can. We're going to do another members only live probably at the end of this month. The last one was super fun. I would love to see all you guys there. And I'm planning on doing another live tomorrow. We're going to dive in on David Miscavige and more of these dirty deeds. And we need to continue the Wayback Machine stuff. I found some more stuff today that looks super interesting. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you so very much, honestly. And I will see you all on the flippity dippity.